Frustrating day on Saturday, but is this a good chance for the players to show they can be more clinical in front of goal, and will you make changes for the game?
Yeah, that's good in football, that you always have the chance in the next game to show an improvement. Yes, of course we'll make changes, but not that we change. I wouldn't expect it. It's a little bit. It depends a little bit to what the doc will tell me in a few minutes, but it's not really likely that we change 7-8 positions or something like this. I'm not sure that we could do it, but it's not the plan. And yes, it's another game, important game, and so yeah, we have to show that we can do better than last Saturday, of course.
Inevitably, at this time of year, there's lots of transfer speculation. Where are you at with transfers, and where are your priorities?
I really wait for the day when it finally the transfer window is closed, because I can't believe how obsessed you all are with this, and that you don't believe a second in the things, in improvement on training pitch. I understand. After Arsenal was far away from being a perfect game, everybody said, okay, we scored 4, so obviously we can score goals, but we conceded 3, so obviously we have a defensive problem. That's, if you are not very interested in us, then that's the way you can see the game. And then we play at Burnley and had 81% of ball possession and didn't score a goal, so now we could say we need another striker if you want. So I think it makes sense that we think about these things apart from the results, or without watching the results which we had. It's a thing, but that's how I said always. Until the 31st of August, everything is possible, because a lot of things can happen. But in this moment, it's not that we have a main thing to do, or that our feeling is this position we have nobody, or it's not that we have the feeling we cannot work with the player on the position or something like this. We are very professional, very clear, and always working, but nothing more to say about this. And what will happen, we will see. But I don't know in this moment actually 100% what will happen. But it's not that we have a preferred position where we're looking for players.
Let's get away from transfers then. Can I ask you about the big talking point from the weekend in the game at Stoke, and the 2 penalties that were given for grappling in the penalty area? As a manager, is that something you've had to speak to the players about?
We had.
Does it change the way you defend set pieces?
Well, in our case, not. We defend in space, but of course, it was in a meeting with FA and the ref. Michael Dean was here and spoke to the players and to the coaches, and we had a few situations in a managers meeting at who have been in London. It was a big thing which we spoke about. It was not 100% for me. It's always still possible. It's a language issue, of course. It was not 100% clear, so I had a few questions about this, and at the end, yeah, things change obviously. But these 2 situations were in Stoke were different. So especially, I think the situation with Sterling involved. I don't think that last year would have been a penalty, but this year it's a clear rule that if you don't watch the ball, if you grab the shirt of your opponent, then if the referee is aware of it, then it's a penalty. So yeah, it was quite difficult in this moment to see. When you saw it in the second time, then it was how the rule in this year is, and so it was a penalty. Yeah, of course we spoke about it, but it's not that we don't want to have the shirt of the other team before the final whistle. So, but it's a normal defending. It's a physical game, especially in England. In the box, it's a physical game. A lot of things have been allowed in the past. Obviously, now it changed a little bit. But we'll need time to adapt to it. Yeah, sometimes the ref sees it, sometimes not, and things like this will happen. We have a few set-piece specialist teams in the league, so maybe they have to change something. Yeah. We were not too good in the past with set pieces, but maybe it will help us. We will see.
Simon? You said about you don't expect to make 7 or 8 changes or whatever it may be, is that to get more playing time in the legs of the current team that you've got? Is that a nod of respect maybe to Burton, a combination of the two? Or?
No, but obviously we analyzed Burton, and it's that's really, I have to say, the championship. I like this. Really, I like this league, and another good team with maybe not the best start, but spectacular results with the 4-3 Norwich, for sure unlucky defeat, and it's a nice story they wrote the last 2-3 years with getting promoted each year, and that's really good. Experienced manager, so clear style of play. I would expect a 3-5-2 system, so that's what they played in the last few games. Okay, not in the Capital One Cup in their last round, but that's what we can expect. So it's, of course, we respect the opponent, but it's not the moment to rest somebody or something. But we have a few players that are now in a good shape, and they have 2 weeks more pre-season if you want, 2 weeks more to train what they had to do, and now when they are there, when they're healthy, when they are fit, then we have to give them a chance, of course. That's how it is, and if we think that they can help us, then we will make the change. But how I said, in this moment, in this short Saturday, Tuesday, or today's Monday, so we have another day. Today is not the highest intensity on training. It's not possible. So it's not about that you can train so good that I think, okay, he should be in the lineup. No, it's about which kind of opportunities and we have, who can we really use, who is in which shape, and that's what we try to figure out in this next 24 hours, and then we will make a lineup.
And with that in mind, then, is this maybe Danny Ings' opportunity? Is he ready now to come back into your first team, do you think?
Look, I would really like to have your job sometimes only, because I can change everything, and I can change. Okay, I have another Devok Origi who didn't start. Only, for example, I've still Dan Sturridge. He made only 1 game, but you don't care a second about what's about. You only ask for 1 player, and I know that sometimes. No, I know. But if you want, I can bring them all. I only want to say. Of course you can ask, but my answer, I can give a real answer. That's sometimes for a player it's a little bit harder and takes a little bit longer. And of course he improved, and of course he trains good. Danny is a wonderful guy, a wonderful player. But it doesn't mean that we cannot change every 2 days everything. So it's sometimes it needs a little bit more time. Even when you are not in the best position in the squad. That's all the things I know about. But it's like. Really, a little bit like you see. Okay, now Danny will play. Oh no, let's play this game. Danny will play, and maybe you think then it's time to leave Dennis Sturridge out. He played only 70 minutes or something at Burnley, or Devok Origi needs another week, or should we bring them all together, or what's the situation? And it's not about bringing one player. So it's finding a formation for this game, and that's what we are working on. And I cannot give all players together the opportunity to play. That's how it is. And sometimes you have to work longer to change your situation. That's all. That doesn't mean that Danny is not in the team or not in the squad. It only means, in general, that it's like this for the players. And if we play the game, hopefully we have more than 11 players over the season, and then we can always talk about the players who didn't play last week, even when you lost. That's a moment when you speak most about players who didn't play. I understand this. Hopefully we don't have to do this too often, but then it's not possible for me to give the answer maybe you want to hear. We only can talk about it, and then you can make with it what you want.
It wasn't that I wanted it, it was just an inquisitive mind.
Yeah.
It's for you to pick the team. I was just wondering.
No, I know. I don't know. That's clear, 100%. But it makes not too much. Of course, it's now each week in which he can't play or didn't play, or that's not too good for a player. But that's how it is in football. You accept this when you start playing the game. So that's long ago, and so the only thing a player can do is to work as hard as possible, to perform as good as possible in each session, and then at the end the manager have to make the decision.
Jurgen, Liverpool's performances in the cup competitions last season were really good. You got to 2 finals. Even in the FA Cup, you were very unfortunate to lose at West Ham. What is it, do you think, about the sudden death games that seems to bring the best out of your team?
We had so many different lineups that I was in a few moments I was surprised about our performance. To be honest, I can remember I think my first one cup game was Bournemouth at home. Possible. 1-0, Kleiny scored a goal. And this day I was surprised how good we were, and we really deserved it win. We made a lot of changes, so it was another situation then, and we took each. That's what we do now again. Each game as a real opportunity for gaining a very good feeling, for getting some confidence, self-confidence in not the most easy situations, but we had to make these changes because of the big number of games. So this year, hopefully, we have another situation from the injury side and all that stuff. So it's not. I like these games. That's how it is. And even when I lost a few finals, I always liked the way to go there and having the atmosphere around the final. That's how it is. And we will be competitive. I know, meanwhile, about the quality of Burton, because we, with all our respect, we analyzed them pretty much and know much more about them than before. But we have to show that we wanna be in this competition. It's not about who is who and comes from Premier League or who is Championship team. It's all about respecting the game, using the opportunities, working really hard, play football, enjoy the game, all that stuff. A lot of these things I saw even last Saturday, but at the end, it was not enough desire in the last third. That's how it is. We had so many moments around the box where we could have made better decisions. And that's another thing what we have to do. I don't expect actually that we have, again, 80% ball possession, because Burton is another team and they play a little bit different. And so they are a real counter-attacking team, of course. So that's a few different things in this game, other formation, all that stuff. But to improve your own game is, apart from the competition, that's another competition. That's a very important thing in this early stage of the season.
Divock Origi last season, the second half of the campaign, he came on, he really improved and making a sizable impact in matches. Have you seen that progress continue? I know he was one of the players that came.
Physically, yes. Physically, yes. He made another step, so that's good. He's still a young boy. But on the other side, it's there's no rhythm in the moment. That's what you can see. The game. Did he come in both games? Yeah, I think so. So we're not situation a little bit late, especially Burnley was a hectic game in this moment. So it was not. It could have been a game for a striker when you come in, when you score immediately. But then it was clear we can play another 20 hours or minutes and you will not score a goal on this day. So it was not that day. But yes, he made another few steps in the right direction, and now it's about gaining rhythm and to find the easy way to play football again, because, how is that? He is not a very experienced player, even when he has now a few really good games. But he needs still to sort all his skills, because he is so skilled that he can use the right skill in the right moment. And good to work together with him.
You said there wasn't enough desire in the final third on Saturday. How do you change that in the short space of time you've got?
First of all, we need to be aware of it. So it was because if you think it's God's judgment or whatever that you don't score with 80% of possession, so then you have a real problem. So we could have done much better. So we could have had more situations, more shots. We had a lot of shots, and most of them from outside the box. But even that's if you have nine shots inside the box, that's more than you actually have in a normal game. So we did a lot of good things to come there. Was good, but at the end we made the wrong decision. That's how it is. Now we need to shoot, but we pass. Now we need to cross, but we shoot. Whatever. That's all. That these things happen. And at the end, it was in one or two situations a bit unlucky, not too often, and in 2 or 3 situations we had too many players involved in the passing movements and patterns around the box, and when we are ready for crossing, then we had nobody in the box. That makes an absolutely nil sense. So, and that's what I mean then in the last point with when I speak about desire. So then you need to be there and try to force it in one, not from outside. We had so many shots from outside. That's not a problem because they were so deep. Then sometimes you have to use it and you have to try. But it looked a little bit too early, kind of desperate. So that you think, okay, well, why should we shoot now? And even we became closer to the goal. And second half, the goalkeeper had to make a few saves, but especially in the first half, I think was a big distance between the ball and the goal. And so that always with our quality, you saw it. The first goal changed a lot, and especially obviously for us, this is not okay. But it's an early stage in the season. It's an early moment in the season. And how I said, a summer break has a few good things, and you can make rest, and then you can train, and you can work on it. But to create something like a real mentality in this game, that needs time. And the first game was from this point of view very good, and the second game not. So what's the truth now? We have to carry on. We have to work on these things. What we will do 100%, and staying calm and cool in this situation from my side, that I don't say, oh, how can you do things like this? I lost, unfortunately, a few games in my life, and I think I should accept that I will lose the one or the other game in the future too. So it's all about football. But when you know this before, that you can lose a game, so then this information is already there. So then you can work on winning the game. So that's how it is. So there's no pressure in this moment. It's more a chance to bring the Liverpool train in the right direction, and that's what we should do, and that's what we want to do in this moment. And so, yeah, both games which we played until now were very important for us, for information. Nobody wants the information we got from Burnley, but now we have them, and now we have to work with this too.
Do you think the players in the game learned from the Arsenal game?
Different things. I think they learned different things from these two games, so it's not more, it's different, and yeah. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. It's not that I think, okay, now it's over. It is over. I cannot change. But it was not that I thought, yeah, that was a good idea that we play like this and we have these problems which we had, and especially, the first goal was, of course, too early, and then the kind of was not. You don't need this, but it happened, and development is always it never works like you actually want. It's not a 100% way in development. You have to take the knock sometimes, but of course nobody wanted it in this moment, but nothing more happened. So nothing more happened, and maybe we can learn more from this game than actually Burnley, maybe. So, because I don't think that I want to play with 90% of ball possession, so that's for sure. So that was good, but we have to use it better. And we did it already better in the preseason, in sessions, in a lot of moments we did it much better. In the last season we did it better. So only it's in the last. My job is first of all to bring the players in and around the box with movements, with passing things, and show them ways where we can use, which we can use, and then. But at the end, of course, you have to make the decision by yourself, and we have the skills to make the decision. But if we then don't use our skills anymore in the most decisive area, then it's not too good. Not too good.
Any more from that side of the room before we go to the embargo? Yes.
Any injuries ahead of the trip?
No real injuries. Little issues, if you want. Yeah. But it's not. Okay, I could now name a few names, but they still can play. It's possible. So I have not made no final decision about this. So in this moment, I would say they are all available, which were available last week, plus. Yeah, maybe one or two players if we need them. So, but we have a few with longer injuries like Luke, and so they are now back in training. And but it's not. If we have other options, it's not a moment where we should force it on these positions.